Ram Ram. Namaste everyone. Welcome you to session 4 of Samskritasri Pathamala 1. We've been doing the DevanAgari Script. We'll try to summarize it and complete it today. Let us first do the Mangala Shlokaha. Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Prashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatika Kritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Saraswati Namaste Suvena Pustakadharini Hamsavahana Marudhe Vidyadhanam Kurushvame. So we have done all the aspects of the DevanAgari script. We will quickly revise everything that we have done so far. First, we saw the swaras or the vowels. Then the vyanjanas or the consonants. The ayogavahas or auxiliary letters. These are neither vowels nor consonants. Then we saw how to make gunitaksharas or how to combine consonants with vowels. Then we saw how samyuktaksharas are made, that is, combinations of consonants without intervening vowels. There may be a vowel at the end of the samyuktakshara. So, as far as the vowels are concerned, they are called swaras or ach varnas, ach aksharani. There are 13 of them, of which 5 are short vowels, hrasva swaraha. They are a, I, U, R and L. There are 8 dirgha swaras or long vowels. They are A, I, U, R, A, I, O and OW. Then we saw the vyanjanas. Vyanjanas are 33 in number and they are broadly divided into 2 categories, the Vargiya Vyanjanas and Avargiya Vyanjanas. In the Vargiya Vyanjanas, there are 5 Vargas, each having 5 Varnas each. So the Ka Varga, which is the first Varga, is otherwise called the gutturals in English or the Kanthya Varnas in Sanskritam. The classification is based on the place from which these sounds are produced in the mouth. So the Kanthya Varnas, the origin is from the throat. So we have Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha and Nga, which originate from the throat. The Cha Varga are called palatals. Cha, Cha, Ja, Jha and Nya. These originate from the soft palate and in Sanskritam they are called Talavya Varnas. The Ta Varga is Ta, Tha, Da, Dha and Na. These are Mudhanya Varnas. Their origin is from the hard palate. The tongue rolls back and touches the hard palate to produce these sounds. Then we have Ta Varga or the dentals or Dantya Varnas. These are produced by the tongue touching the teeth. Ta, Tha, Da, Dha and Na. Then the Pa Varga, which is Pa, Ha, Ba, Bha and Ma. These are labials. For all of these, the lips come in contact with each other. So they are called labials or Oshtya Varnas. Then we have the Avargiya Vyanjanas. The first 4, Ya, Ra, La, Va are called Antasthaha or semi-vowels. And the sibilants Sh, Sh, Sa and Ha together are called the Ushma Varnas or Ushmanaha. So these are Yara, Lava, Sh, Sh, Sa, Ha together are called the Avargiya Vyanjanas. So these 25 form the Vargiya Vyanjanas and these 8 form the Avargiya Vyanjanas. Then we classified the consonants based on the amount of emphasis or stress that we lay in pronunciation. So the first 2 varnas of each of the Vargiya Vyanjanas or each of the Vargas are called Karkasha Vyanjanas because there is more stress involved and they are pronounced with more emphasis. Ka, kha, and notice the difference between that and ga, gha, nga. Similarly, cha, cha, and see how that is different from ja, jha, and nya. Similarly, for the other vargas as well, the first 2 are pronounced with more stress. The other varnas which are Karkasha Vyanjanas are sh, sh, and sa, which are sibilants. These are called Karkasha Vyanjanas or hard consonants. The remaining Vyanjanas or consonants are soft consonants where the emphasis is less. The third method of dividing the group of consonants into 2 categories is based on the amount of breath that is involved. The second and the fourth varnas of each of the vargas and sh, sa, and ha, all these things involve more breath in pronunciation, and so they are called the Mahaprana varnas. The first, third, and fifth letters and ya, ra, lava have less breath involved in pronunciation, so they are called Alpaprana letters. Notice that the fifth varna of each of the vargas, nga, nya, na, na, ma, all these things are called Anunasika varnas, where the nasal sound is also part of the pronunciation. So they are called Anunasika varnas. So broadly, we have divided consonants into Vargiya and Avargiya, Karkasha and Mridu, and Alpaprana and Mahaprana consonants. Next, we saw Ayogavahas. Ayogavahas, the first of them is or the Anuswara. Anuswara is nothing but the dot which is above the Akara. Here it is written along with Akara, but an Anuswara can follow any vowel. Anuswaras do not follow consonants, they come only after vowels. The next Ayogavaha letter is the Visarga, which is represented by 2 dots after Akara. Here it comes after A. So the pronunciation is Aha. If it comes after A, it will be Ahe. So similarly with all vowels, if the Visarga as well appears only after a vowel and not after a consonant. Then we have Jihvamuliyaha. Jihvamuliyaha is nothing but a special representation of the Visarga itself when it comes before the K and Kha varnas. The first and second letters of the K Varga, namely K and Kha, when it is preceded by the Visarga, it gets a pronunciation of half a Visarga, like K and Kha. And the Upadhmaniyaha, similarly, is the Visarga that is appearing before Pa and Pa, and it has the pronunciation Pa and Pa. So these are the Ayogavahas. Next we saw how to make Gunitaksharas, that is how to combine consonants with vowels. We took up the first consonant, namely Kakara, and added it to all the 13 vowels and saw what are the modifications in shape that it undergoes. With an addition of an Akara, the slanting line below is removed. So when the consonant appears with a slanting line below, it means that it is a pure consonant. Without it, it means the Akara has been added. When you write a vertical line on the right hand side of the consonant, it means an Akara has been added. For instance, K plus A, Ka. Similarly, when you write a vertical line before it and draw a curve above, then it is addition of Ikara, the Hraswa Ikara, and it is pronounced as K plus I, Ki. Next is Ikara, where you write a vertical line on the right hand side and a curve above. U is written with a curve below. U is written with a curve, a loop, and then a straight line. So ik plus u is u. Ik plus r is kr. The rikara is represented by the small letter C, English letter C, which is written below the consonant, and the rikara is represented by the inverted number 3 written below the consonant. Ka with the inverted 3 written below means it is the dirgha rikara which has been added. Then the lakara, all you need to do to add the lakara to a consonant is to write it below the consonant. That's all. One of the students had written to me, how do we add lakara to hakara? It is the same way as we add it for the other letters. You write the hakara and write the lakara below. Then we have k plus a, k. The akara is represented by a slanting line above this letter. Aikara is represented by 2 slanting lines above the letter. Okara with a vertical line and then a slanting line above, and aukara with a vertical line and then 2 slanting lines above. So this kind of a change can be made with all the consonants. I hope you practiced writing all the SamyuktAksharAs and all combinations of consonants and vowels. Then we did SamyuktAksharAs, for which we broadly gave some rules or guidelines of how 2 consonants can be combined to write SamyuktAksharAs. For this, we divided the consonants into 3 types. The first type where they have a vertical line on the right hand side as part of the script, as part of the representation. So when there is a vertical line, all you need to do to combine it with the next letter without an intervening vowel is to just suppress that vertical line. Example, v plus y, vy. In this, you have just suppressed that vertical line and joined the 2. This happens in most of the cases of consonants, as there are 22 consonants of this type which have a vertical line out of the 33. Then the second type has kakara and bhakara, where there are strokes on both sides of the vertical line. For this, you need to suppress a small portion of the stroke on the right hand side beyond the vertical line and then write it immediately next, or follow it immediately with the next consonant that is appearing in the SamyuktAkshara. Example, k and n, kn. In this case, the kakara, you see that a small portion of it has been removed or suppressed. Next is the third type of consonant, that is based on its shape, where there is no significant vertical line in it at all, in which case those consonants mostly do not undergo any change in shape when they are combined with other consonants. It is the other consonant which is in the combination that will undergo a change in shape. In most cases, this is what happens. Whether it appears first in the list of consonants or at the end, it will not undergo a change in shape. The example given here is t plus ya, ya. See how the yakara has changed its shape. So the ta has remained without any change, and the yakara changes its shape. Now for repa, even though it belongs to the third type without a vertical line, it has 2 treatments. One is when it appears as the first in the set of consonants, then it becomes a curve above the next consonant. When it appears later as the subsequent consonant, it becomes a slanting line which is written below the previous consonant. So when it is a first, it appears as a curve above. When it is a second consonant, it appears as a slanting line below. This is a general rule. These are all very broad guidelines, and there may be many exceptions As you see the SamyuktAksharAs in the textbook, you will realize it yourself. And you become familiar with these SamyuktAksharAs as and when you read more and more. Then there are some special forms. We saw some special forms. We'll see more of them today. The most important of them are ksha and nya. Nya. This is ja and nya together. This is kakara and shakara together. This is ksha and this is nya. These are two special forms. Why they are special? Because you can't recognize that there is a kakara and a shakara in this base. By just looking at it, you will not be able to identify those letters. Similarly, the nyakara. Even though there is a slight similarity, you cannot make out exactly what are the letters that have gone into this nya. So we'll see some more special forms. The first, of course, is ja and nya, jnya, k and sh. These two are what we saw earlier. Then we have shwa. Shakara has a vertical line. So normally we could have suppressed this thing and written it along with the vakara. While that is also a correct way of writing it, what we can write is also a loop above and followed by the vakara next to it. Sha usually undergoes this kind of a change. It becomes a loop like this. And then the next letter is written. For repa, we add a slanting line, right? So that is represented here. The shakara with the loop and then the repa with the slanting line. Next is the hakara and nakara. Na usually, sometimes changes its direction and is written under the next letter or within the next letter. So here, the nakara appears within the hakara. Another way of writing it is where the hakara, the curved portion in the middle, is made a straight line and then the next letter is written. So these are two ways of writing hakara and nakara immediately after each other. Then k and the. This has a special way of being represented. So this shape represents the combination k and the. Of course, there is the other way of writing it where you suppress a small portion of the kakara and you write it along with the takara. That is also correct. But if you see this, you must be able to recognize it as the combination. First kakara and then the takara. Then the shakara with r. R is a vowel. So this is a unitakshara. It is not a samyuktakshara. So shakara with the C representing the rakara is written. So this is the modified shape of the shakara that we are now familiar with. Then tra. For repa, we normally draw a slanting line within the or below the previous letter, right? So we can write the takara and write the slanting line within it, or this is an alternative shape. So if you see this, you must know that it is takara with repa. Then jna, this is what I told you, nakara, where it changes its direction and it is written below the dhakara. Normally, since dhakara has a vertical line, you could have suppressed it and then written it before the nakara. That is also fine, but this is another way of writing it. Shla, here again the shakara has taken its modified shape and the lakara is written next to it. Then dbha. Now the dakara belongs to the third type, so it is remaining as such without any change, and the bhakara comes underneath as a modified shape. Kla. Here also the kakara could have been suppressed on the right hand side and then the lakara could have been written, but this is another variant of the same combination where they are written one under the other. This is dakara with nakara, where the remains the same, nakara is written below. Here, hakara has not changed, the yakara shape has undergone a change. Notice that change. Ma, here also, hakara remains the same, whereas the makara has changed its shape. Now these This list of special forms is not exhaustive. You may come across other special forms. For instance, chakara and chakara can be written one under the other as well, instead of writing it with the vertical line suppressed. So you'll get used to, or you become familiar with such forms as and when you read. Now, we also saw in the last class some very similar looking forms which you should not get confused with. First is dakara and yakara, which is written as in this form. It is here. And then dakara with another dakara. It is written like this. So the first dakara part of it is suppressed and the second is written under it. Then the dakara with rkara, which is a gunita-akshara, because rkara is a vowel. See how the dakara has been compressed and then the rkara has been written. Whereas when the takara is combined with r, the takara is written fully and then the small c, English letter c, has been appended below to represent the rkara. So these forms you have to notice very keenly and you have to be sure that you're writing or pronouncing it the correct way. This we saw in the last class. Now let us check the homework that was given in the last class. One, of course, was to try and write all the SamyuktAksharAs given in the textbook. The second one was I had given you some letters for which I wanted you to find out the component consonants which have gone into the making of those combination clusters or consonant clusters. It would be nice if you can volunteer to read your answers so that we can have some participation. I will call out your names. If you want to read, you can raise your hands. BKAT Gopal. Ram Ram, Namaste.
Ram Ram, ma'am.
Ram Ram. Can you try the first one?
Yes, ma'am. Here.
Yes. Can you tell me what are the consonants that are combined here?
Plus here. Here.
Yes. Th and E. Along with that, there is a vowel which is akara. Also, I have written that also because it is easier to pronounce with the akara. So, the thakara, which is the second of the tavarga, then the yakara, and then akara. Here. Very good. Can you try the next one as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are the consonants in it?
Id plus ya plus a.
Idh plus I plus a. Or you can say dhakara, yakara, and akara. Okay. The next one also, please.
Pra.
Yes.
Pakara, rakara, akara.
You should say repha. For ra, you should say repha. Pakara, repha, and akara. Very good. Next one.
It's here. No.
The next one is
Here.
one more. What is this? There is kakara, and then there is
Takara.
takara. Only those two. The akara has not been given. So it is just ik plus t. Okay. Thank you. Gomti Hari.
Ram Ram, Namaste Mahodaya.
Ram Ram. Can you try this?
Ik.
The first letter is?
Lakara, Kakara,
Yes.
and Akara.
Very good. So it is Lka.
Ik.
Yes.
Str.
Yes.
Str. Shakara, R, and R.
There is no Repa in this. There is Takara. What has come as the second consonant is the Takara.
R.
Yeah, the Ta Varga first letter is written here. Sh plus Ta, Sh, T, and Akara.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Shakara, Takara, and Akara.
Akara.
And then the next one is
T. T plus T. Takara plus Takara.
So both these Takaras are pronounced with the breath. So they are both Mahaprana letters. You should pronounce it as Th. You should hear the air coming out of the mouth. Th is how it is pronounced. Okay, very good. Next one.
Dva. Dva.
Yeah.
Dakara.
So, Dakara.
Vakara and Akara.
Vakara. Yeah, very good. The, Va, and A. Thank you. Hemalata Kala.
Yes, ma'am. Ram Ram Mahodaya.
Ram Ram.
Tma. Takara, Makara, Akara.
Yes.
Sha. Kakara, Shakara, Akara.
Very good.
Ba. Dba. Bakara. Dakara, Bakara, Akara.
No, the first is Bakara. You can pronounce it in the order in which you see it. Bakara without the vertical line you're able to recognize, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it is Ba, B, D, and A. D, like in Abda Purti. Okay?
Like Shabda.
Like Shabdaha.
Oh.
So Bakara, Dakara, and Akara.
Akara.
Next is
Cha. Chakara. Second Cha.
Yes.
And Akara.
Yes. Chakara, Chakara, and Akara. Icha. You have Ch, Ch. Okay.
Next.
Okay, you can try that as well.
Tya. Takara, Yakara, Akara.
Yes. So this is the Mahaprana Thakara. This is the second Tha. So you pronounce it with more breath. Tha and Thya. Thya.
Thya.
Okay.
Thank you, Mahan.
Janvi Satish.
Ram Ram.
Ram Ram.
Ma'am, so should I start from Tya or Ma?
You can start both ways, anyway. You want to try Thya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thakara plus Yakara plus Akara.
Very good. That is Thya. You can pronounce the combined consonant once so that you get familiar.
Yes,
ma'am. So that is Thya. The next one is
Ma, which is Hakara plus Makara plus Akara.
Good. That is Hma, like in Brahma. Okay.
The next one is Hra, which is
Yeah.
Hakara plus Rakara plus Akara.
Yeah, you should say Repha. Hakara, Repha, and Akara.
Yes.
Okay. Next is
Dga.
Yeah.
Is Dakara plus Gakara plus Akara.
Good. The D, G, and A. Thank you so much. Very good. Krishnaveni J. Do you want to try? Yes.
Hello?
I can hear. Ram Ram. Tell me.
Tva.
Yes.
It plus va plus
T, B, and A. Tva.
tva.
Yes. Next is
Na plus na.
that is not na. you see that there is no dot on the side, right? So it is dakara, which is the third letter of the ta varga. Ta, tha, da. This is not na. The second letter is da, dakara. Can you read it one more time?
Na plus da.
In plus d plus a. Nakara, dakara, and akara.
In plus da. Id plus a. Da.
Very good. Da. Correct. Next is
Ich plus ir plus
cha.
a. Cha.
Can you give me the pronunciation of the whole combination?
Ich plus ir
Now,
plus
how do you
a.
pronounce it together?
Cha.
Chra. So there is a mahaprana for the chakara, then the repa, then the akara. Chra. Okay. Very good.
The V is known as ra.
The repa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. So you can try the next one as well.
Ich plus
Yeah.
nya.
Yes. J plus nya plus a. So
Ich
jakara,
plus
nyakara.
plus nya. A. Nya.
Very good. Nya. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kritika Sudarshanam. Kritika Sudarshanam, yourself.
Ram Ram Bari.
Ram Ram. This
Sa Sakhara Kshamyatam is plus im plus a.
correct.
Sma.
Sakara, makara, and akara. Yeah. Very good. Next.
Ish plus im plus im plus a.
So what is the
Sakara
pronunciation?
plus Vakara plus a.
Shva.
Shwa.
Very good. Next is
Ich plus cha plus a.
both are ch. Chakara, chakara, akara. So it is ch.
Astu. Cha.
Yes.
Ing plus a.
Ng plus g plus a. That is nga. Okay. Thank you so much. Very nice. So next, we are going to see how vowels are added to SamyuktAksharAs. In GunitaAksharas, we saw how the vowels are added to the individual consonants. In SamyuktAkshara, it is a similar thing, but you add the vowel symbols to the SamyuktAksharas, which you have already familiar with, which you have already made. So let us see some examples. Suppose we have takara with repa and okara instead of akara. Then you write, you know that this is the symbol of tra. With that, you add an okara symbol, which is a vertical line and a slanting line above. So you get a throw as the final form. The pronunciation of this combination is throw. And then we have chakara, yakara, and ukara. It is chew. To add this ukara to the final consonant, chew. Next is k plus sh plus e. The dirgha ikara is added to sh. So you get p. So like this, you can add all the vowels to all the possible combinations of all SamyuktAksharas. And thus you get these forms. So the rules of forming these GunitaAksharas are very similar to that of individual consonants. Now here we have to note just one point. Normally the GunitaAkshara of any consonant with a hrasva ikara, you get a vertical line before the letter, right? For instance, vakara plus ikara is V, where there is a vertical line, a curve above, and then the vakara is written. So what do you do when a gunita samyuktakshara is followed by the ikara? Then you write this vertical line first, then you write the cluster of all the consonants that are forming part of the samyuktakshara. For example, suppose we have sakara, takara and ikara. You have to write the line first, vertical line, then write the sakara and then write the takara and draw this curve for the entire section. And this is only the sti, which is s plus t plus e, sti. You do not write it as sakara, the half the sakara separately and then the t. If you write it like this, it will not be the correct way of writing it. You should write the vertical line first, then write all the consonants which are forming part of the samyuktakshara. Is this clear? We'll see a couple of more examples. The nakara with T. There is a nakara, takara, and then the ikara. When a hrasva ikara comes, you have to have a vertical line preceding the letter. Then the nakara is written, and then the takara with this curve covering all the three letters. For instance, we have shantihi. Nakara has come between this line and takara. Notice that. Shantihi means peace. Then we have shakara, makara and ikara. So what do? This vertical line has to be suppressed, but it is to be brought in between this vertical line and makara. So rashmihi means ray of light. Shmi is the pronunciation of this combination. You can find it in rashmihi, which is a word which means ray of light. So I hope this is clear. This is one point which you have to be careful about while writing Samyuktaksharas along with the hrasva ikara. So let us do some exercise just for practice. Again, you can raise your hands and I will call you. If you are interested, you can raise your hands. I'm going to lower all the hands and now you can raise your hands again because there might have been some raised hands before. Okay. R. Jairam, would you like to try, Mahodaya?
Yes, the first one is throw. So sir, sir throw. So sir and turn row.
Now, yes, no, you here what do you see? You see the sakara, right?
Sakara, yes.
Sakara, and then there is a slanting line below. Okay, that represents the repha, which is usually coming after the consonant. The repha, which appears as the second consonant, will be represented by this slanting line. So there is a sakara, and then there is a repha, and then okara has been added. Okay, so there is no takara in this. If there was a takara, then there would have been another line inside this combination.
Oh, I thought it looked like throw. Throw is not there. Okay.
It is very similar, but there would have been an extra line over there. That's all.
Oh, right. Okay.
Here it is just sakara with the repha. One minute. I'll just show you. So the sakara, the repha, and okara gives you this. Would you like to try the next one also, Mahodaya?
Yeah, sure. Che. So it will be k, sh, and a sound.
Che. Very good. This is ekara being added to the ksha conjunct consonant. I'm sorry, this should have been ksh, not akara.
Sure.
This should have been the pure shakara with the ekara. Okay. Next.
Ti, like mukti. So,
Very good.
so
So this is the special form for the combination kakara and takara. Very good.
with the ikara, that line coming
Yes.
from the left. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So it is kati. Thank you so much, Mahodaya.
Yeah.
Very well done. Rita Mansuklal Kutecha. Do you like to try? Think you're self-muted. SR Subramanya. SR Subramanya Mahodaya. Would you like to try? You're self-muted, Mahodaya. Sambhasha 2421. Do you want to try? Sambhasha 2421. You're self-muted. You can unmute yourself. No? Sanjit Ram Prasad.
Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. Ram Ram, tell me.
Ram Ram.
Yeah.
Gi.
This is one of the forms which I had shown you. Similar looking forms, right? So this is dakara with a yakara. The y with a what is the final vowel that has combined with this combination?
Oh.
It is okara. If it is out, you would have had two lines. Here there is just one line above. So it is okara. This is dakara, yakara and okara. Dakara, bhakara, and which is the vowel that is combined here? Ukar. Ukar. Very good. Very good.
Nakara, hakara.
Nakara, hakara, ikara.
So the order in which you pronounce it is important. First the hakara, then the nakara, then the hrasva ikara has come. So hni. How do you pronounce it?
Hakara, nakara, ikara.
Ikara. Hrasva ikara. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ram Ram. Sita Raman Subramanya. Can you try to unmute yourself? Sita Raman Subramanya. You can unmute yourself. You're self-muted. I think. Yes. Yes, Mahodaya. Sita Raman Subramanya Mahodaya. You're unmuted. You can speak now. I think there is some problem. Shreya Zinsuvadia.
Hello.
Ram Ram. Yeah.
Nakara, takara, and e.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's miti. No.
Nti. Nti. As in Shanti. Yeah. Nti.
Nti.
Okay.
Okay. Chakara, yakara, and u.
Very good. This is, can you
Chew.
pronounce it? Chew. As in Achyutaha. Chew.
Pakara, nakara, and o.
Yes.
So pro, no.
No. Yeah.
No, okay.
Like in apnoti. No. Pa and na
No.
together.
Oh.
Noti. Okay. Very
Okay.
good. Thank you so much, India.
Thank you.
We'll do one more exercise. Again, if you want to try, you can. You just have to read this combination. All you need to do is to just pronounce it. So if you want to try this, you can raise your hands. Shubh. 1, 2, 3. Shubh. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Ram.
Ram Ram Mahoday.
Ram.
It's Tray.
Try. One moment.
Tray.
Yeah. I'll show the next one as well. This is, you can unmute yourself. Shubh 1, 2, 3. You can unmute yourself. Oh.
Ksha.
Ksha. Good.
Pro.
Pro.
Kti.
T.
Kti. As in grew.
Kr.
Lkr.
Okay. Yeah.
Shrew.
Yes. Very good. Just give me a minute. This is
Shri.
this is R. The R kara, which is this is not a consonant, it is a vowel, right? The shakara with the R kara. So this is a gunita-akshara. Shakara with the R kara is a gunita-akshara, which is pronounced as Shri. So notice the difference in pronunciation of this shrew. This has a shakara, rekha and ukara, the first one, whereas this one has just the shakara and the r vowel, shri. So whereas this is shrew, this is shri. Are you able to see the difference in pronunciation? Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. Shriram MC, would you like to try? Shriram MC. You're self-muted. Okay. Shriram Venkatesh. Yeah. Can you try this first one? Ram Ram.
Tma.
Yes. Tma.
Tma.
Yeah.
Plow.
Plow. Very good.
Rika.
Rika. Very good.
Brew.
Yes.
View.
View. Very good.
Irta.
Irta. Very good. Rebha before ta and akara. Yes.
Hni.
One moment. I'm not able to see the letters. Yeah, it is hni. Very good.
Stove.
Stove. Very good. Excellent. Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya.
Dhanyawad Acharya.
Sthanu. Would you like to try?
Hari Om and pranams, Acharya.
Rana.
Ram Ram.
Yeah. Hari Om. Yeah.
Hma.
Hma.
Chre.
Very good.
Gri.
Yes.
Nye.
Yes.
One second, please. Can you please move the mouse?
Yeah.
Gnau.
Gno.
Gno.
There
Sorry.
is only
Yeah,
one
single.
line above.
Gno. Tr.
Tra.
Here.
This is R. The R kara, the small c that we write for the R kara, which is a vowel.
Just like shr, the 3-1 above. Shr. Just like shr, it's hr. Understood. Sorry.
Yes, yes.
Clean.
This is k with me, kmi, like in Rukmini.
Okay. I have a question, Acharya, if you don't mind.
Yes.
The
Not
fifth
at all,
one.
please.
The fifth
Yes.
one. The la plus k plus r. How do we pronounce that?
L.
Could you please repeat that? Sorry.
L. You pronounce the lakara without a vowel. L. And then kr. That's it.
Oh, okay. Hari Om. Dhanyavad, Acharya.
Ram Ram. Dhanyavad.
Ram Ram.
I wanted to finish the Devanagari script today, so we'll just, even if it takes a little more time, we'll try and finish it. Now, the 7th lesson in the textbook has a section where more than 2 consonants have also been combined. And this is a possibility. In many letters, we find that sometimes consonants appear in a series without intervening vowels. So up to 5 consonants can be combined theoretically, but it is not very common. We can see up to 3 in in textbooks. So for instance, they have given nakara, dakara, rakara, which are all consonants which are appearing without an intervening vowel, followed by an akara. This is ndra, as in indraha. There is nakara, dakara, rebha, and the visarga. I mean the akara and then the visarga. So this is rebha, not rakara. You should say rebha. Then the same combination, nakara, dakara, rebha, followed by e. You get ndri, as in chandrika. So Indraha is Lord Indra, the king of Devas, and then Chandrika means moonlight. In this you have Nakara, Dakara, Rebha, and then the Hrasva Ikara. So see how that vertical line has come before all the 3. So this is what you should note. Then we have Sakara, Takara, Rebha, and Ikara. Stri, as in Stri means a woman. Stri itself is a word, Strilinga. So this is woman. Then we have Takara, Makara, Yakara, followed by an Akara, and it is Thnya, as in Mahatmyam. Ta, ma, ya. I mean T, M, and E, which are all consonants, finally followed by Akara. Mahatmyam means importance. So these are the examples that are given in the book. Let us have some practice with these as well, where more than 1 consonant, more than 2 consonants are combined. 3. I've not gone beyond 3. And I have taken some combinations which have appeared in the Vishnu Sahasranama. So if anybody wants to try, you can raise your hand. Spurthi Praveen, you want to try? Can you pronounce this? Do you want to try pronouncing this?
N plus
Yes.
stu.
Stu.
Plus
Yes.
s plus
Yes.
th plus
Yes.
u.
Yes. So here the this appears in Dhyayan Stuvan Namasyan. So this is the Nakara, Sakara, and Takara followed by Ukara. Very good. Try the next one as well.
Thank you. Okay. Tya.
Yes, there is a Ka before, and then Kakara, Takara, Yakara, and Akara.
Yakara and Akara.
Yes, as in Bhaktya. Bhaktya Purushamabhyaya. Yes.
Yes. Ntya.
Ntya. Very good.
N, T, Y, A.
Ntya. You just have to
Ksha.
pronounce it. Yeah.
Okay. Ksha.
Ksha. Yes. Tani vakshyami bhutaye. So Ksha. Yeah.
Ntya.
Yes. Ntya. That is Shantyarthe. Shantyarthe. You get that word.
Ntra.
Ntra. Yes. Mantra. You get mantrasya. Mantrasya. Okay.
Nga.
Are you able to see the next letter? Yeah.
Yes. Nga.
Just give me. Ringa. Sharanga dhanva.
Shanga. Nga.
Ng and ga. Ringa.
Oh, Ringa. Thank you. Pra.
Yeah. Pra. Second. Kshirodhanvat Pradeshi.
Pradeshi.
T, P and R and an akara at the end. Thank you. Dhanyavada. Very nice attempt. Thank you.
Dhanyavada.
Shriram MC Mahodaya, you want to try again?
Yes. Namo Namo.
Okay. Namo Namo. Ram Ram. Yeah.
Stri.
Yes. This is 3. Now you see 3 lines, isn't it? So 2 of them are part of the tra and 1 is part of the sakara itself. And then there is a hrasva ikara symbol with a curve and a vertical line before. Yes, 3. Like in Prabhutasrita Kubdhama, right? The 3 there. Okay.
Shtra.
Shtra. Yes. Chaturdamshtra. We get it, right?
Yep. Rgra. Rgra.
Rgra. Rgra. This is Agranir Gramani, right? Rgra. Actually, it should be gra. Rgra. It's okay. It's rgra. Yes.
Sk.
This is sk. Like in Skanda Skandadharo. There is a double sakara. Skanda Skandadharo. So you emphasize the sakara before you pronounce the k.
Right. Ardhi. Ardhi. You can, if you use the word ardhi.
Yes. Mahardhi. So you get and then dhi. Okay. This is a bit tricky. Yes.
Kshma.
Kshma. Like in sukshmaha.
Kshma. That is Dbra.
Bra, yes. Brahmakrit Brahma. Brahmakrit Brahma. You get Dakara, Bakara, and Repa all together. So that is okay. Let me just minimize the other windows. I'm not able to see. Give me a minute. Yeah. This is
Sva.
yes.
Tasav.
Tasav. Like in Swastikrit Swasti. The Takara, Sakara, and Bakara come together. Dhanyavada. Very
Dhanyavada.
good. Sudhakar Apadharana, you want to try?
Yes, but namaste.
Rama,
Which one should I try?
Yeah, I'll show you. This is the one.
Swa.
Yes.
Swa. Yeah.
Namo Swanantaya. So Swa.
Ksya. Swa.
This is Swa. As in Swasti book Swasti.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah.
Swasti book Swasti. Yes.
This one is Kshe. Shde.
Kshe. As in Sanksheta. Okay?
Yeah,
Sanksheta Kshemakrit Shivaha.
This one is Jor.
Rjo. The Repa is pronounced first.
Okay.
Because it has appeared as the curve above. So it is the Repa that is to be pronounced first. Then the Jakara, then the Yo. Okay. So like in Nandir Jyotir.
Oh. Is there a small horizontal line to the left?
Yes, but that is part of the Dhakara. There is the break in the line. That's all. So you can ignore it. It's just the line above the Nakara.
Okay. So this is Chre, Nechre, Nechre, Ninchre.
No, there is no Chakara here. This is a Dha. That is the fourth letter of
okay.
the
Yeah. Dre. So Nendre.
Ndra. there is just an akara. There is no other vowel except a hrasva akara here. Ndra, nakara, dhakara, repa, and hrasva akara. As in chanurandra, nishudanaha. Right? So,
Okay. So this is repaha,
you can
dakara,
pronounce
vakara.
it letter by letter. So r, th, and dv, rdva.
Rdva. Okay.
Yes, rdva. Second, urdhvagat, urdhvagas satpadachara, urdhva.
Okay. Ndra.
This you know.
Ndra.
Yes.
Ndra.
Indra as in
Indrani.
yeah, Chandraha, Indraha, everything.
Tva. Iktva.
There is a double takara.
Tva. Right? Yes.
Yes. Tva. This is ik and tva.
Tva. Yeah. Tva.
As in Indriyani Manobuddhir Sattvam. So there is a emphasis on the takara for which they have included another takara.
Okay.
Tvam. Okay. Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya.
Dhanyavadaha. Yeah.
So I think we have exceeded our time a bit. Let us see what the homework is for the day. You have to write down the alphabets that you have pronounced in the last two slides, 7.2.1 and 0.2. And then, yeah. So we'll stop there. I hope you'll have enough practice with the SamyuktAksharAs along with the combining of vowels. So I will try to, upload this earliest by tomorrow so you can complete your homework before Thursday's class. Rama Rama, Dhanyavadaha, Shubharatrihi. Let us first finish with the Mangala Shloka. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'm sorry I could not take your questions today. Please write to me if you have any doubts. Rama Rama, Shubhratri.